Welcome to Jakarta in Indonesia. It's game day 3 in Group G, and Cote d'Ivoire and Brazil will face off in a winner-take-all game. Yes, we're at that stage of this preliminary round. The winner of this game will progress to the top 16 group. The loser will slip into the classification. And for Brazil, it all started so promising. First game, they're absolutely tremendous. And then they ran into the juggernaut of the defending champions, Spain. I'm Mark Clark, with me Shona Thorburn. I still think they're one of the most exciting teams in the competition. I just hope they can rediscover that way of playing that they had game day 1.
Yeah, you said it. I thought Brazil really gave Spain a run for their money, and it wasn't really until that last quarter where Spain were under control and the game was somewhat over. And let's keep in mind, Brazil are playing without Neto, one of their go-to players, one of their go-to scorers, and that's what you really saw against Spain. They were missing someone else who could step up and score for them. They won their first game 100-59. They lost to Spain, like we said, 78-96. This is one of the best Brazilian teams I've seen in quite a few years, and I think Coach Gustavo Di Conchi really has these men playing with a lot of confidence, and you see that. They enjoy playing with each other. Yeah, they miss one of their brothers in Neto, but they've rebounded. Right now, I think they're playing for their country, and they're also playing for him.
But they're up against a team that really they have a dual agenda here. One, to get to the top 16, but places for the African country, a direct route, potential direct route to the Olympic Games is within their grasp. There's a lot of other things that have to go their way. At the moment, all they'll be worried about is winning the game. The great news for them, well, we don't know how great it is yet, but Bazumana Cote is out there in uniform.
Yeah.
And like, we saw him limp off the floor.
Carried off
the floor. The coach said he was done. But you know what? Playing for your country is a hell of a healer. And Cote, if he can get out on the floor, that really does give the Cote d'Ivoire a huge boost.
It does. He's their floor leader, and you know, when he went down and then we got news he's probably done, apparently it's an old injury, it's an ankle injury that just, you know, doesn't heal well. He's always bugged by it. Adrenaline is a powerful thing, and I think that's why we see him out there. He did the entire warm-ups. He looked great, in my opinion. I think they need him if they want a chance to win, but other people really came in and stepped up, and we'll talk a little bit about them when we see the starting 5 and the players. But Diabate, he came in and won the game for them, to be honest. Obviously, Cote d'Ivoire, they had that big win over Iran, 71-69.
Well, here's the schedule for Group G on the final day of group action. The nightcap game, Iran have the pleasure, if that's the right way to word it, of facing Spain. But it's all about Cote d'Ivoire and Brazil. There's the group standings. Brazil currently hold that second spot, but you can see the win-loss record exactly the same. The winner of this game will be at least second. In fact, will be second because Spain have beaten both teams. Now we'll pause for the national anthems of both countries, and we'll be back after we have heard those.
you. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Cote d'Ivoire. Thank you very much.
The three referees, Roberto Vasquez, the crew chief, Scott Becker and Andreas Bartel. Puerto Rico, Australia. Those guys representing those countries. Going to talk about Brazil first. I mean, obviously, Chilo Huertas in his 5th World Cup had a really quiet game against Spain, a game that, well, we thought he could have been a major factor. Obviously, he's played a majority of his career in the ACB in Spain, just short of the 2nd leading assist man in the World Cup. Here's the starting lineup. And Suarez, again, he got into foul trouble, but was important the first time up. De Paulo stepped in to Neto's spots. And Diego really does set the tempo, but Shona, Bruno, Caboclo, what can you say? Double-double, just tremendous achievement.
No, he's been having a great tournament. Look at that, double-double, 15 points, 11 rebounds against Spain, and Spain has some bigs, so for him to be able to pull that off, you know, we talked about it, they went inside to him early in the first 2 games, and then later in that game against Spain, he was stepping out and shooting threes where we thought he maybe should have attacked a little bit more. And then obviously Iago Santos, kind of, I don't want to call him the Energizer Bunny because he's more than just that, but boy, is he quick. And he is the one who sets the pace and sets the tempo with the way that this team plays for Coach Gustavo Di Conchi.
Well, Diego really has had to take on some more scoring now that the unfortunate injury to Raul Neto. But the Ivory Coast had the big win. I mean, it was just a crucial, one of those games that it didn't really matter how you won, but you just had to get over the line, had to give yourself a chance when they beat Iran. And you mentioned how effective and important Diabate was. This will tell us how well Cote is, and he's going to start. And the other guy that was so impressive, and I don't think got the credit, and I think we both agreed, but Cedric Barr, the captain, what a performance. Yes,
he, you know, it's unfortunate because a lot of the things that he did in that big win for them over Iran, as we see Zuzo out there, 17 points against Iran, but Cedric Barr, he was everywhere, and it was things, you know, touching the balls, deflections, rebounding, you know, him crashing the boards gave them second chance opportunities, but it's things that don't show up on a box score. So unless you watch the game, you don't understand how important he was. And then obviously Maxence Dadier had 10 points against Iran, but I was a big fan of the person who had to come in and take over for Kone Solo Diabate. He was 5 for 5 from the free throw line with a couple of those three free throws, to be honest, at the end of the game to give them that slight 2-point lead. Probably some of the biggest free throws in his life. And he was in the press conference after, all smiles, just being like, this is what you play for. I love these kinds of moments. And, well, Cote d'Ivoire, they know what's on the table. Do they have enough? Can they put together a 40-minute game? Brazil have looked very, very good, even with that loss against Spain. People were nervous. You and I were nervous.
Yeah, absolutely nervous. And, you know, you asked, have they got enough, Cote d'Ivoire? Have they got enough? Well, it'll be interesting to see how they deal with the beginning of the game, because in every game so far, Brazil have just really been aggressive early. And I don't think Cote d'Ivoire may not have the legs to come back if they get down early. So they've got to keep this tight, got to stay in the game, got to make it a game where people are having to think coming down the floor. And the only other thing, we both mentioned this as well, Brazil, as we get into this, Brazil, 6 of their 7 games against African teams. It's a great stat, it's a marvelous stat. All that matters is the 2 teams on the floor right now. And how are you going to beat the African team down the other end? And we talked about the job that Coach Prokic had done in really getting this team ready to play. But how effective were they when they kept it simple? Play Cote d'Ivoire basketball, be aggressive. And once they get to that stage, they look really effective at times in that second half in particular. They don't need to run too much complicated stuff.
No, I think they need to look for their opportunities early. They're long, they're athletic, they can jump, they can run. They don't score a lot of points, though, and that's the most concerning thing for me. They only have 1 player in double digits. As you see the Tissot countdown, we're about a minute away. I mean, if you compare these 2 teams, Cote d'Ivoire 67.5 points per game compared to 89 points per game. So they're also really going to have to dig down and defend and somehow have more than just Zuzua coming out and scoring for them. I think at this level you need a few players in double digits. You can't rely on one person who's going to step up. The good news is Kone's back in the lineup. He is a scorer for them. He only played 15 minutes, and we talked about it. He was carried off the floor.
Yeah, and the medical team have obviously done a good job, but also his commitment and courage, just brilliant. You know, you only play a World Cup once every 4 years. You don't want to sit it out. That's why it's such a tough loss, regardless of how serious, and it is a serious injury, finito. 4 years, you have 4 years to think about playing in the next one. He's got an opportunity. If there was any way he could play, you know he was going to put it out there. And he's just composing himself. We won't see this weekend off court, just getting himself in the right frame of mind. I'd also say about him, he's got to play within himself a little bit, because when he went down, he was a little bit out of control going to the basket. In control of himself, Kone for the Cote d'Ivoire is going to be so much more valuable if he can play lots of minutes. So we're moments away now from this crucial clash. The winner progresses to the top 16. The loser will go to classification 17 to 32. I know where both of these teams will want to be. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Jakarta. Cote d'Ivoire in the white uniform, one of the first teams to qualify out of Africa. Brazil in the green. Dale gets the open look early, is fouled on the release. Love the fact that they get a shooter a good look.
Yeah, I like that little offense you said. Keep it simple for them. And couple passes, some good movement, strong cuts to the basket. You have Dali, who, you know, maybe hasn't really shown his true ability yet at this World Cup. This could be the game he breaks out. And Cote d'Ivoire would love that to happen.
And he's unfortunate because, you know, you've been in these situations. He's their best shooter, you know, by reputation. So everyone's going to chase him. He's the guy who's going to get least looks. So good that he got that early look. And once shooters find rhythm, it's pretty tough to get them out of it. Ironically, for a shooter, only shot like 66, 67% across last season. Didn't stop him going 3 for 3 right then. See Brazil, they've been so aggressive early. And especially without Neto on the floor, you might think Cote d'Ivoire might try and pack it in a little bit and take away some of that exciting early offense that Brazil put on the floor. Suarez hands it off. Again, the quick tempo. Yeah, go. Tries to find a little space, probes a little bit, throws it inside. Aklo is fouled. Interesting to see if they say he was going up. Yeah, they're going to give him 2.
Oh, good job going inside. It's what they've done the first 2 games of this tournament. Brazil, they have a big height advantage, and I think, you know, Suarez, Caboclo, go ahead, pound it inside, see what Cote d'Ivoire are going to do to try and take away your inside game, and then have your shooters spotting up on the 3-point line if they kick the ball out.
Caboclo on the free throw line, makes the first and goes 2 for 2. Now those guys in Italy have got a real star in going to Venice next season. Cote probes a little, turns it over though, chance for Brazil to run, and this is not what Cote d'Ivoire want. Mendel gives it up to Paula, who was aggressive going to the ring. Inside, outside, the open 3 is good. And Suarez, it was a real loss for Brazil in the Spain game. Foul trouble, limited his minutes. Beautiful stroke. Cedric Barr, has it knocked away, cleaned up the mess, Sidibe. Cote with 8 on the possession, fires up the 3 and just knocks it down. Gago begins to turn the corner again, probes in the lane, little floater is no good. And Barr just cleans up the mess, takes responsibility for it. Now the step back 3 early is good. And Dadier, well, highlighted before the game, starts with confidence.
Yeah, I think this is great. I like the way that they've come out and they have a look early. They're shooting at Cote d'Ivoire right now. As you saw there, De Paula getting to the basket. You know, he's the one who actually, for Brazil, has had to come in and step up with a, what's his name, sorry, Neto going down. And, you know, considering he played very, very limited minutes in that first game, for him to come in the second game against Spain and fill some big shoes, I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, it's you know, you've been on national teams, and you know that in theory coaches can call on anyone 1 to 12. They're the best players in their countries, but replacing Neto, as you say, is a big deal. And he's not the same player either, is he? He's a bit more solid, a bit more aggressive in the bar, going to the hoop. But he really did have a huge dunk. Wow, he had a huge dunk in the Spain game. Barr thinks about it, gets it off. Dadier, having made 1, puts it on the floor. That's going to be an offensive foul over dribble. Well, you can complain all you want, but it was a bit of a nothing of a call, but anyway, Brazil have it. Suarez, who I really think has looked impressive at times, looks inside a post, they don't go to him. De Paula on the far side, puts it on the floor, going strong to the ring, doesn't finish it. And Cote d'Ivoire run, and they're dangerous when they run, especially this man. Cote goes with a floater, doesn't get it to go, going the other way. What if they were quick that way? They're even quicker this way. De Paula on the runway for the throwdown. And Brazil are off and running, tie at 9 apiece. If you're going to go early, you've got to complete, otherwise you're going to have it run right back at you. Dadier looks inside, doesn't want to go there. A lot of dribble again. And they've got really deep, going nowhere. Barr's left with having to force one, takes the mid-range 2 and hits nothing. And if Dadier's going to hold it for that long and dribble it nowhere, he's got to go up himself, because that's just giving up responsibility and accountability.
Yeah, and a good job there. No one back on defense as Brazil takes advantage. This team can score, and they can score a lot of points very, very quickly if you don't get back and defend.
Oh! Caboclo wants the foul, but I had visions of another highlight. Sidibe on the inside, tough finish. Iago just goes hard again. Suarez doesn't get the 3 to drop. Barr gets it to Cote in transition. doesn't like the maths. The numbers don't favor him to go early. Now he turns the corner, gets into the lane, is fouled. And while I love the fact that he's being aggressive, I do fear for that ankle.
Every time he falls, he's still on the ground right now. As you see him, he actually took his shoe off, or his shoe came off.
And you can imagine Coach Prokic's emotion. Yeah, great job. Oh no, it's you, stop that.
But that's the way he plays, and if he didn't play like that, there's no point for him playing, because that's what they need from him as well. So, I mean, you know, injured or not, right now, so far, the first 3 minutes, 45 seconds, he's playing the way that he only knows how to play.
Yeah, if you're in the game, you're in the game.
Exactly.
And again, even though I was pointing that out about how concerned it could be, he was under control as well. It wasn't one of those out of control, spending a lot of time in the air penetrations. Makes the first from the free throw line. Really positive start here by the Cote d'Ivoire. Again, you've said it a number of times, Sharon, it's a nothing to lose game for them. It's a massive opportunity.
Exactly. And I think you have to have that kind of mentality, and not mentality, but just have no fear.
That's the right word. It's not about nothing to lose, is it? It's being fearless.
Yeah.
You've got your options. You've got your game now. You've just got to fearlessly do what you do. Iago in the half court. Suarez, who's been effective on the perimeter. De Paula looks to attack and kicks. Iago thinks about it, puts up the three. Sweet as you like from range.
What a tournament he has been having for this this Brazilian team.
Well, he definitely makes Red Star or Crnogorska in Serbia have a different look. Cote, that's going to be an offensive foul.
Referees have really been calling a lot of offensive fouls. They're looking for that. You have to have your feet set. And there he kind of leaned a little bit into the defensive player, and it's not the first moving screens foul you and I have seen in this tournament called.
And when you got a quick defender like we have in this World Cup, they're going to try and slide over the top, so you really have to execute well. Goes for the three-point line, rims it again. And I'll say it again, I think he's a good three-point shooter, but he doesn't need to take it that early in the set. He's so effective, 10 to 12 feet and in. Ball sticks a little bit. Edier goes up, takes the top off the glass, doesn't get it to go, keeps it alive, but messes cleared up. Mendel pushes in transition. Cote, how quick was that? Edier didn't get back, gets the two. Well, he was slow getting back, but Cote saw him. And Cote d'Ivoire still have that narrow three-point lead. Iago with his feet set. Might as well. The stat man had already written it in the book. Can't give him that much time and space. Edier looks inside. Again, we're on the dribble again with not a lot of action. Tape gives it up. Cote creates a little space coming off the screen, gets inside, goes up in the lane for two, doesn't get it to drop. De Paula will push for Brazil, and they have numbers. No one stops him, and does a great job at recognizing where the defense is, draws the contact, puts the ball up, and when he had no right to be fouled in the act of shooting, does a great job drawing that contact. Zuzu checks into the game. As does Santos, who's getting increased minutes. He got more minutes in the Spain game. Hardly played game day one. Really developing a role for himself.
Yeah, and just talking about the man on the free throw line right now, De Paula. I mean, he played 34 minutes, so he stepped up into the starting role. I know he only had 5 points, but he had 7 assists. And he played really well, especially considering 17 minutes, and they were just sort of to give, the stars in that first game against Iran a little bit of a breather. He wasn't really relied upon, I guess you could say. So great job by De Paula. Then again, he is one of the only players who played every single qualification game for Brazil.
Well, Dale, after making the first three, good pass by Bar. Like, Bar saw where the space was, and the pass actually made him make that cut to that spot. Great touch on the finish. Chance to give us another tie in the game. Well, Solomon Diabate checks in. This backcourt with Zuzu was the backcourt that really got him over the line against Iran. A lot of much more quickness.
Zuzua, big game. We highlighted him, 17 points. You and I were a little shocked with some of the shots that he decided to take, but you know what? They went in.
It's a little box and one-y at the moment. Suarez, Huertas. The box and one was on Huertas just to take away the source of whatever Brazil are going to do. To the corner, Suarez just about gets it away. Really bottom of the shot clock. Suarez has a great stroke.
Yeah. It's almost a shooter stuck in a post body.
Yeah. Diabate gets inside, goes back out. Zuzu goes inside. Tape goes baseline. Goes with a jump hook, doesn't get it to drop. Great work on the glass. Bar with a pump fake. And one, and you can't say enough great things about guys who do blue collar work.
You said it, blue collar work is Cedric Ba. There's a reason why he's their captain. You know, he's not the kind of guy, he's not gonna be flashy, he's not gonna have big, stats every night. But as far as helping his team to try and win, he does exactly what is asked.
Under 60% from the free throw line, but free throw stats, they will work their way over a season. Big games, hopefully Bar's focused for the extra point. He's short, but he gets the roll. Just can't put a value on the where he contributes. Still in this box. Santos doesn't think twice at all, puts it up. Offensive rebound is unopposed. And Suarez goes to work on the glass and gets the easy offensive ball. Can't have anything easy. Diabate will take the ball screen, doesn't really attack it, goes off the reposition, stops and pops. And they're gonna nail the long two as he towed the line. Looked sweet.
Diabate, I think after that game, on game day 2, he's given himself a little bit more confidence. He is one of the veterans of this team, so I don't think he was lacking confidence ever.
Oh, turnover waiting to happen, but guess who picked it up? Cedric Bar goes for the finish. Zuzua doesn't make the three. And Bar missed the throwdown. And Cote d'Ivoire missed an opportunity. De Paula in the half court, trying to orchestrate, trying to open up space, loves the matchup, wants to put it on the floor. Now he's gonna have to settle. Tough turnaround jump shot is long. And Dali played great defense, just would not allow penetration. If you're gonna clear people out, you need something better than that. And this is Diabate's time to slow it down as Brazil look a bit 2-3 zony. Diabate with the three is long. Tape can't get it. Huertas with 1:20 remaining in the first quarter, where Cote d'Ivoire have literally signposted their intent. Suarez outside moves it on. Huertas, who was so quiet against Brazil, Spain, he turns it over. Zuzua, a minute remaining in the quarter. Good decision. Dale attacks the closeout, gets some contact, and Brazil are in the penalty, so Cote d'Ivoire will go to the free throw line. That was nice. That was much better control in transition. Zuzua, who literally never normally passes up anything. When he's in range, he's in range.
No, I like the way that Cote d'Ivoire have come out. They're pushing the tempo when they have it. When they don't have it, they're slowing it down a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah.
They're still moving the ball. Yeah, of course, there's a few things that I'm sure Coach Prokic will, talk about at the end of this quarter that they need to get better on. But you have to be happy with the way that they've come out and scored. And I question, could they score enough to win a game? And right now, if they continue going this way, absolutely.
Yeah, way above their tournament average. Lead it 25-20, 50, let's just say 58 seconds remaining in this first quarter. And it's offensively anyway been their most consistent, productive quarter against one of the better defensive teams in terms of their ability to contain the ball. That's in the half court. Suarez comes off the down screen, looks to reverse it, but goes back to Huertas. Goes up, is fouled, and I just think you should stay in that office.
that office that's called a key in basketball terms. I agree with you. I think what he needs to do is every game, that's where he needs to start scoring. That's, pick and rolls, post up, score inside, even little shots around the free throw line. Not saying you have to be stuck in that semicircle area. And then once teams really start to take that away, okay, fill out a little bit. But I haven't seen teams take away his inside game yet.
No, not at all.
And we're even talking about Spain.
Yeah. And I think he's got the ability, if he gets into those closeout scenarios, just put it on the floor and attack from there as well.
Yeah, because he does have handles.
Yeah,
he's very, very skilled.
Well, he's going to be replaced. Cristiano Felicio checks in. And Brazil show a little three-quarter court pressure. Diabate under control. Gets the Cote d'Ivoire into the half court. Already at 12, though. Abu's in the game. Fofana, nice pass. Oh, what a block. Great follow, though. Fofana can't get it away, and Brazil will hold. But you think they'll hold for the last shot of the first quarter. Impressive ball movement by Cote d'Ivoire, but got to go a little stronger than that. Huertas, Benitez been pushed, and that's a crazy foul. If it is a foul, it is a foul. It's been called because with 1.6 seconds, they're going to walk to the free throw line, and they haven't really had to work that hard to eat into that 4-point lead. Victor Benitez.
We haven't seen a replay, but as far as Fofana says, but I'm playing against a shooter, no matter what. Benitez, I'm gonna have to follow him, and it looked like he just tried to push him off, that little down screen for him, where it looked like, they ran it specifically for him to come off and maybe shoot a three.
Yeah.
It's definitely what you teach when you're a coach.
Victor Benitez makes both, cuts it to a 2-point game. Fofana, let's just hope the stats man thought the game had ended. End of the first quarter, and you've got to, hats off to the Cote d'Ivoire. They've come out here and been really, really efficient in the half court. Moved the ball really well. They lead this 25-23 after one. Get a look at the stats.
Well, there you see one of the veteran players for Cote d'Ivoire, Diabate, trying to get his team hyped about what to do. And we saw the statistics pop up quickly. Sorry, I wanted to hear what Diabate was saying. Cote d'Ivoire, they have to be happy, 25 points. They haven't come close to that in this tournament in a quarter yet. And great shooting. For me, what stands out is their free throw shooting. They're 9 of 9. And this is a team during the qualifiers, Mark, that shot in the low 60s from the free throw line. And also, just overall, I don't think they're forcing a lot of bad shots. They only have 3 turnovers. I think that's good for them. They're crashing the offensive rebounds, which we know they're going to do because they're a team that often average in double figures on the offensive end. Brazil, on the other hand, you know, go with what works. And you and I keep talking about it. And, you know, yeah, I know we're not the coach, but Caboclo, when he's on the court, try and get him inside. Even if you have Suarez, perfect. Leave him on the outside. He's already there to knock down shots.
Well, there's the courtside 1891 app. Get that QR code. It'll appear a couple of times as this game goes on. All the live games you can watch on demand. It's not just the World Cup. You can get all the World Cup games, but it's also international basketball across the whole year. So many options for you to get mobile with your basketball. Download that app. As I say, you will see that QR code multiple times during this game. I mean, obviously the concern if you're an Ivory Coast fan is, can you score 25 points a quarter? You know, because if you don't, are you going to have to stop someone? Brazil scoring 23, we know they can.
And averaging, you know, they average almost 90 points a game in this tournament. So, yeah, we know that they can score. Can Cote d'Ivoire step up and defend if they go cold for a little bit?
Huertas. Well, a little bit of indecision, just about recovered. Felicio. And Santos really did make something out of absolutely nothing with the fumble. So much better to see someone be aggressive in that situation as opposed to settle for the jump shot. He'll go to the free throw line. You know, Brazil in a situation here where the expectation is they would rock up to this game, get the win, go through to the top 16. That's a different mentality you have to face than when you're going in against Spain, where people are saying, well, you're playing the world champions. You're the underdog. Well, they're not the underdog here. 13th ranked team in the FIBA World Rankings. Diabate on the drive, big step for two.
Wow. Just a nice read, saw the lane open up. He also protected the ball incredibly well, attacking the basket there. Good job by him.
Marcelino Huertas, this looks a little out of sorts.
Yeah.
Let's just word it that way.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it's, with all his experience. Oh, Diabate again, a little deja vu, foul on the play, and Huertas literally had to take one for the team. I don't mind seeing it again, because I'm not quite sure he made a genuine attempt on the basketball here.
I mean, the way that we've seen, I think that could possibly be an opportunity for the coach's challenge. If he wanted to use it, he was on the other side of the court, so he didn't get to see the slow motion. That play happened right in front of us. We got to see the replay of it as well, but those are that's one of those. I don't believe it was a real play on the ball.
Yeah, he got beat, didn't want the penetration to happen, so he said, I'll take one.
I mean, it was a smart foul.
Yeah.
By the veteran. 5 World Cups, which is absolutely incredible to think about.
Diabate, disappointed he didn't keep that 100% from the free throw line. Huertas comes off the screen, finds the man in the corners, toss, falls, but gets it to Huertas for the three. Is this going to get him going? Rims in and out. You're feeling for him. You really wanted to happen for him. One of the greats of Brazilian basketball.
Yeah.
Diabate goes upstairs. Foul on the play. Felicio's going to be charged for a push.
Huertas currently 3rd right now on the all-time assists at a FIBA Basketball World Cup. Has a good opportunity to move up into 2nd place on that list.
Well, Huertas will sit down. Here goes back in. And Felicio will sit down. And Bruno Caboclo is back in the game. It's I think a really nice combination. Diaz on the inside really does give the Ivory Coast a matchup issue. Yep. And I'm going to make this point because we sometimes give Zuzua too hard a time. I don't think he's taken a shot yet.
He took 1-3 early, right?
Yeah. He's been in the game for a long time for him. He's normally one of those instant offense guys, and that's his role. He's supposed to come in and be instant offense. It's a sign of how well the rest of them are playing. Beniche for three is short. It's a rebound.
Well, I mentioned it. He's the only player on this Cote d'Ivoire team averaging double figures for them. So for him to not look to be as aggressive as before, it's a little unusual.
Kaboko clears up the mess on the glass. Iago at speed. He's always at speed. Yes, puts it on the floor. Close. Iago wide open. No one rotated. And he is just perfect from the three-point line in this game when he's left that wide open. This is his third three.
Yep.
Closes it to a two-point game, and you can't have moments off in possessions. Got to guard the ball. Zuzar with a tough one off the glass, doesn't get it to go. Almost looked a little bit indecisive. Voko handles. Diego. Diabate looking a little gassed. I would be gassed guarding Diego. Little float up is good for two. It's all too easy for him at the moment. We've got a new ball game at 30 apiece. 11 points already for Iago Santos. Diabate definitely looks gassed. Goes to the corner.
Got 4 players on one side of the court for Cote d'Ivoire in that offensive possession.
The tough make from Fofana in the corner. There's an off-the-ball foul on the glass.
I think the basket's
good,
good,
the basket's
right?
Good, yeah. Fouls out of shot on the spider cam, whatever the name for that is. Cote back in the game. It's such an asset for Cote d'Ivoire to have Cote available. We were trying to work out how they were going to deal without him. Well, he's putting it out there. Beniche comes off the pick. Diaz for three is long. So rebound momentum on the far side, off the glass for two. I really like the long forwards that this Brazilian team has, Mendel and Suarez. I mean, both of them are great hands, both of them good shooters, both of them work on the glass. Cote explores the screen. We'll wait for the screen away for Abu, who's been a little bit anonymous since he's been in. Now he gets in the lane, takes a little pull up for two. All under control. Nice finish. Timeout. Brazil want to talk it over. Cote d'Ivoire have a 35-32 lead with just under 6 to go in the half. And let's have a listen to Gustavo de Conchi.
Vou mudar a estratégia agora. Vocês precisam executar melhor do que vocês estão executando também, tá bom? Na lateral, Vitor e Iago vão fazer fundo, tá? Vitor e Iago vão fazer fundo. Só Vitor, Iago e Marcelo quando estiver em campo. Vai ser fundo. O 5 fica aqui dentro, tá bom? Ou 5 ou 4 aqui dentro. Se for um 4 que arremessa, a gente roda todo mundo, tá? 5 rodando todo mundo. Você também, você vai fazer fundo também. Com o Léo, Bruno, com o Léo, nós vamos fazer... Vai ser troca com o Léo, tá bom? Iago e Victor.
So how, Cote d'Ivoire, if there's anyone that's given them a real issue, it is Iago. I mean, they showed that little box and one when Huertas came in the game. Maybe they could show something like that. Because at the moment, he's getting too many open looks.
And I mean, we know that he can create his own shot and score even when he's being defended. But you said it. All of his points right now, even this floater, I mean, no one's coming over and really helping in defending. His shots, they're great shots, I mean, but he's knocking down open shots. And, you know, at some point, someone has to say, all right, I got to, you know, leave my man and go help on Iago. If not, he's going to have a 40-point game against them.
Well, he's a quarter of the way there, 11 points personal in the first 15 minutes of play, 14 minutes of play. He'll inbound it. Cote d'Ivoire, after the timeout, show a little bit of pressure. Don't really want to allow Brazil to come down and get what Gustavo de Conchi wants after the timeout. Giath will hand it off. Mendo. Boca with the screen, now dives deep. Wants a touch on the inside, gets it. Going against Diabo. He's just too strong, too big, too everything. But great help by Tape, but they can't get the offensive rebound. Did a great job rotating over on the first one. You just got to finish the play.
Yeah, you said it. I also think that's a great job there by Caboclo, staying with it.
Just Zuzua just saved it. Cote was wide open, but didn't think he was. Fofana finds Cote, 5 on the possession. He's going to have to create. Running out of time. Fofana takes it strong, doesn't get it away. Lots of friendships being forged between coaches and referees.
Friendships?
I think so. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of conversation going on. That one's okay though. It doesn't actually interrupt the flow of the game. Iago gets another layup. And Tape had him. Tape came over and helped.
Can't lead to the guard. Yeah, can't lead to the guard defenders back in front of, especially a player like Iago and how quick he is.
Abu. He's been very controlled. Cote going baseline, looks for an angle. In the corner for the 3 is no good. Mendo comes down with a rebound. Nietzsche going strong to the glass. And he looked for the contact. And he steps out of bounds. But
he's the one who actually, in my opinion, he went into the defender and created the contact. So I think that's a good no call by the referees.
I agree, absolutely. And I think Zuzua was confused. He could have just gone and picked it up. He really did. He could have gone and got it. A 14-second reset. I'm not sure why it's 14. Why is it 14? Bonici went down in transition. The ball didn't hit the ring. It was knocked out of bounds. No possession change. Doesn't matter. Iago puts it up early and knocks it down. And Coach Prokic will want to talk it over because Iago almost single-handedly has brought Brazil back to lead this. 39-35. He's perfect from the three-point line, and he's wide open again. And let's see if Coach Prokic, well, it's just he will talk
switch
about
something up, yes.
Hey, before he says anything, it's just more, as much as anything else, it's just effort.
Yeah.
First of all, go shirt, try to go post up. Shirt, try to go post up. Okay, look for the ball. After you make the post up, make 2 screens here, and we continue normally. Then next offense, go force forward. Okay? Hey, in the defense, it's so simple. Hey, they get spacing, we don't get help and recovery. Guys, come on.
My only question to you is, like, at this stage, at this level, do you go, some people aren't actually getting the help and getting the spacing and recovering, or do you just say, hey, you and you and you've got to get a hand up on that guy?
Yeah. I mean, going into the game, they must know the scout. Iago Santos, he has already made 3 games, at least the 3 3-pointers in every game in this World Cup. So you know, if left open, I don't think he's the kind of player that's going to shoot a double step, backside step through the legs, 3-point shot. But if open, he's not going to hesitate. And how can you continue to leave him open?
Well, Brazil out of the timeout, and they're going to an extent, they had it. They had Cote on the baseline with nowhere to go, and then they just wanted a little bit too much and reached for it. The referee helped Cote out, called the foul. And that's Bruno Caboclo's second foul. That's not a number Brazil will want to grow. Still got the 1-2, 1-1, I suppose you could call it, press. They had 3 guys on the ball on the last inbound. Cote gets it again. The 2 people just attack it and they travel.
You knew what they were doing. Cote d'Ivoire, this is where you need to be a little bit smarter. Well, good job there, Brazil. Coach De Conchi coming out of the timeout and throwing something different at Cote d'Ivoire.
Well, Cote d'Ivoire, 4 minutes remain in this. Marcelino Huertas, just off, should we say. Pass was never there. Felicio's just checking who coach wants him to go in for. I think that's a pretty smart move given the circumstance of the game. His team is up 4 points. He doesn't need a third foul. Well,
two good defensive possessions there by the team in white. Not giving any easy looks.
So Brazil struggling. They go for easy entry and not really get complicated on the play. Why need you do that with Diego on the floor? Mendel, far side of the ring, scoops it, doesn't get it. What a rebound by Felicio. Just used his length. Suarez has it knocked away by that man, Cedric Barr. Another play by him. Up the other end of the floor to finish it. And Cote repaid him for the effort. 1 the stop, 2 the run. And the captain being the captain. Mendel for the 3. It is good. Have to stay tough now, the Cote d'Ivoire. They can't go into the half on the wrong end of a Brazilian run. Fofana. Cote goes to the baseline. Fofana needs it, gets it, thinks about it, attacks it on the floor. Gets it to Barr. Barr waits, has it, knocks away. The ball will stay with the Cote d'Ivoire with 4.2 on the clock. I like the original decision by Fofana. Back yourself, finish the play. .2, more than enough time to get a shot you want. 38, out of bounds on the give and go. He has to move everything about 3 steps up the floor if you want to go that type of play. There's no space at all for Maxence Terrier. Abu sits down. Steady minutes. This really has done a really steady job. Iago turns it over. Love the way he checked the ball pressure on that one. You sure that pressure's okay, ref? I've had a great game. Must be something wrong with the ball. Dale will inbound. 38. Huertas shows in the baseline. He takes it. They switch it. Barr puts it on the floor. Gets to the middle. Going against Huertas. Second move. Well, he did everything right apart from make the layup. Super move. Dadier will take the ball screen. Slices through. Turns it over. Iago has it. Huertas thinks about it. Delays it. Gets it inside. And Felicio gets the easy 2. That's a little bit more like Huertas. Makes the decision. 7-point lead here. Simply got to keep the scoreboard ticking over. Great pass. Barr gets the 2. Where were Brazil?
You know, you saw Huertas there yelling at his teammates, telling them to get in position.
Iago stops, pops, and absolutely fills it up from 3. And maybe we need to stop talking about some of you, and actually every one of this Cote d'Ivoire team need to chase that guy and contest it. Got to get it out of his hands. Got to get it out of his hands.
For me, you can't go under screens right now, no matter how far away they are from the basket, how far away from the 3-point line. Way too much time to set his feet, and clearly he's feeling it, so someone needs to step up. Let's see if the last 2 minutes and 14 seconds, if they're going to change something up defensively.
But it's more, there's to count now. Hey, over. So first go over, second go under, second go over. Now next offense, shoulder, Dani. Shoulder, okay? Shoulder, Dani. Here on this, Iago, under and then go over. Stop. Haydi. Haydi, let's go. Haydi.
Well, Cote d'Ivoire have 39 points. I'm not really sure if that's, you know, the offensive end is their issue.
I mean,
their issue is that
19 points for Iago Santos. I think he's a great player. There's a reason why, you know, I think he's going to have a great season if he wants to in Belgrade with the Red Stars. As you see, Cedric Ba today, 7 points, more than his average. But Cedric Ba does so much more than just score, and he does a lot more than what just comes up on the statistics. As you see Brazil come out in that press break. A much better job.
Cote wanted the ball in his hands on the ball reversal, guarded by Huertas. They turn that one down. Dadier, 7 on the possession. Fofana picks it up off his ankles, gets his feet set. Felicio can't control the glass. Cote has it. Iago trying to gap that and help Huertas. Cote goes up for 2. They simply need to win the last minute 40 here. Stay tight in this game.
Yeah.
Surely no one's going to go under a screen. Well, Dadier does go under a screen without anyone switching. Suarez is off with a 3. Ball just knocked away. Mende goes up, gets and stays with it. He gets it out to Iago. Cote goes over the top. Huertas wide open for 3. Doesn't get it to go. Brazil is just all over the glass, but somehow Fofana gets it. That's going to be a blocking foul on Iago. Brazil have a foul to give.
We haven't seen a lot of De Paula, as he had those 3 fouls early in the first quarter. And Brazil have done a good job with him on the bench in the second quarter.
Here's Cote. Minutes remains. Got a whistle. Well, they had a foul to give. Then that'll send the Cote d'Ivoire to the free throw line. And they've done well the last 3 possessions. Moved the ball pretty well, drew contact, will go to the free throw line. Felicio's gonna check out, Giath is gonna check back in. Guillermo Santos not particularly happy with the call, but this will get it back to a 4-point game if he makes both. 38 on the free throw line. Sean, it's not, you know, when we're talking about, you're mentioning not going under the screen, it's not about massive changes. They only need to miss 1, 2, whatever 3s, and all of a sudden it's a different ball game. You know, we're not saying that Iago's not going to score.
Yeah.
He just can't go 100%.
He can't have as open looks.
Yeah.
Make it a little bit more difficult.
Well, Cote d'Ivoire have fouls to give, only committed 2 on the quarter. Giath will hand it off. Mendel moves it on. Iago takes the ball screen, tries to turn the corner. They're moving on. Santos attacks it, needs a pass. Wow, that's a take. Mendel, don't know how he kept it in bounds. Goes strong with the right hand.
Oh, I thought that ball was on the way up.
It's a matter of fact. They could challenge it, I think.
Can you challenge a...
Yeah, they're going to.
Okay.
You're rolling the dice a little bit. You're a long way away from it. It's always debatable as well, isn't it? But they have gone and challenged it, so both teams have to go to their end of the court while the challenge goes on. Gives the coach a chance to talk to them. They have to stay on the court, obviously. Let's take a listen.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Going up, going up, going up. Going up. Okay, go back. Okay, going up. Going up, going up, going up. Okay, so let me see who has the ball after the contact after the. Okay, keep running. No, on the same angle. Okay, hit the ball. Okay, white. Okay. Head coach. I have a clear hit of the ball.
Clear block.
Yeah.
All right.
So head coach is successful. Ball white. Okay. Thank you. White rebound. No basket. Okay. It's a white
Oh,
rebound.
good call there.
You need a job, Shona. You need a job. Getting those challenges right. Coach Brokic should be
47, correct?
Should be 47. I'm sure they'll work that one out, but it is a 47-43 game because they put the 2 up.
There you go.
Cote's open. Oh, why not go back to him? And now all the work of the challenge just undone. Santos knocks the 3 down. When it was 49, it's now 50.
Yeah, you said it. All the work of that challenge, and they know every single dead ball right now. Brazil have been going into a. Oh, how about that? Brazil have been going into full court pressure. How have they not figured this out now? 2 turnovers that have led to 2 easy baskets for Brazil.
And also on that one, Cote was wide open. Just look back, look behind the
Quicker
trap.
decisions.
Yeah. But there was a quick decision by Cote. Took it straight down the gut of the Brazilian defense. Tough finish by him. And Brazil are going to take their timeout. They're down, they're up 5. When they come back, Cote will be able to shoot the extra point, chance to cut it to a 4-point game. But what it does now, both ways, they can organize, but it also gives the Cote d'Ivoire an opportunity to organize their defense as well. So let's take a listen.
Aqui nós vamos giro duplo, tá? Movimenta a bola, não para a bola. É giro duplo. Então, o primeiro mão a mão vai ser do Tim. O primeiro mão a mão vai ser do Lucas, tá? Lucas faz o primeiro mão a mão pro Tim fazer o primeiro e abrir, o Lucas o segundo, slip e vai embora, tá certo? Ou bloqueia. Pode ser que eles troquem tudo. Eles têm, só toma cuidado, eles têm 2 faltas embaixo. Então, lá na saída, se for individual, a pressão, 42. Deixa a bola lá que o Marcelo vai decidir o que vai fazer. Ou 32 ou 42. Deixa o Marcelo lá, tá certo? Se for pressão zona, o Lucas entra no meio. E o Gui vai embora. Deixa o Iago e o Marcelo aqui. Tudo bem?
Atenta as dobras, depois vem na guarda ali.
Well, Cote will go to the free throw line. Chance to make this a 4-point game. Conte took the timeout to organize to get the last look. Could just simply give it to Iago and say, hey, get to the bucket, great. If not, they leave you open, you're all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's the one running the play right now.
But the Ivory Coast have 2 fouls to give. It's almost like take everybody out that is in any sort of foul trouble and just say you've got 2 fouls, make sure you use them. Cote surely will go out after if he makes, but it doesn't look like he's going to. Cuts it to a 4-point game. Up the floor. They do have 2 fouls to give. You don't want Cote picking up one of those. Iago. Doesn't look like they're going to foul. Looks like they're just going to play him straight up. Well, boo them fouls. What I would class to be an absolutely 0 action on the ball at all.
Really unusual foul. I understand using your fouls, but use them when the team is more going towards the basket, not parallel or away from the basket.
But
obviously, coach said, hey guys, we have 2 fouls to give, and that's all that was in his mind. Didn't matter when.
But he was behind him, and he grabbed him around the waist. Iago. Iago, they're gonna let him go down the middle for two. Doesn't get it to go. What a rebound, and they can't get it to go. Santos missed the opportunity to put the offensive rebound back in, and we've reached the half. Conche looks at the officials with a longing look on his face.
Iago wanted a foul, right, in his little floater. Maybe we'll get a little replay of that last shot.
Well, it's halftime with a 4-point lead for Brazil. 50-46. Gonna get a look at the stats.
Well, there it is for me. It's a three-point shooting, 8 for 16, 50%. Both teams shooting the ball relatively well. 14 assists compared to just 8. Cote d'Ivoire, 9 turnovers. A lot of those coming in that second quarter. Cote, 10 points. The big highlight of this first half, though, has to be Iago Santos. He has been absolutely spectacular. He's been aggressive. He's been looking for his shot. I also think Cote d'Ivoire didn't make a lot of changes defensively on him, and they let him continue to play the way that he wants to play. You know, he played 14 minutes, 19 points, 7 of 9 shooting, 5 of 5 from three-point range to go along with 4 assists. At what point do you say, okay, we can't allow this one man to score, let's have other people step up and score for them? And they didn't do that.
No, you've said half of that graphic already. 19 points, 5 from 5. Eddie had a nice start, made a couple of decent shots, and really did lead the floor well. The bigger question, they've obviously got a box and one because they ran it against Huertas.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the answer, but at least have a look.
Yeah.
Because they had a look at nothing except Iago making shots.
Yeah.
It was just too easy, too much the same. If you keep doing the same thing, you'll get the same result. Unless coach thinks that at some point Iago's going to go cold.
I mean, possibly, but Iago, he's been playing for a long time. You have to know what kind of a player he is. He's been playing for a long time for this Brazilian team. I know he's only 24 years old. You know, there's a lot of scout that you can find on him. And I think, you know, if I'm Cote d'Ivoire, okay, you have to be happy with the way you played. You're down 4, you scored 46 points. It's the most they've ever scored in this Basketball World Cup at a halftime. I question, could they score? They only average 67.5 per game, so they are well over their average with 20 more minutes. Can they turn it around and defend, though? Because to allow a team to score 50 points, possibly 100 in a game, you're not going to win.
No. Especially if you're not a big scoring team. They've overachieved in that first half. But to be fair to them, they haven't actually taken many bad shots. They've got to the basket. And even without, because Fofana's been no real factor in the game, and he's one of their more stronger players in terms of being aggressive to the ring. But this Brazilian team, looking at the other way around, how Brazil allowed the Cote d'Ivoire to score 46. Everyone else has kept them to 67 a game.
I think for me, Cote d'Ivoire, they've had a lot of participation from a lot of players.
All right, well, we'll be back soon for the second half. We'll see you then.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are all on the same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin,
basketball
can bring everyone together.
Basketball for good.
Gets rejected. Well, my goodness gracious. Renza Bondo just making a statement block there.
Fournier, nowhere to go. Nice defense, skip, and it's a turnover. El Darwish, that's got to be his third steal. And nice run by his teammates is Zenon.
We'll keep adding on to the turnovers, and Wagner just having his way, muscling through. This is turning into a pickup game.
Turns it over, and here comes De Souza with a windmill. Wow, that is just a monumental moment.
Tominaga, one speed, beating Ingles, and the block on the board. Your boy Cooks. Cooks gets it back. No one stepping up.
Xavier Cooks is in a rich vein of form, carrying on from that really good last quarter.
Gets it back and Wagner's gone. A miscue and Finland's going the other way. Markkanen with the two-hand jam.
That's where Giffey needs to be curved with a good hustle to try and to stop the errant pass in the over and back.
Goal baseline. Must go by. Finds Quinones. Quinones all the way. Good ball reversal. Good defensive rotation by the Angolans, but in the end, Andreas Luiz just dissects the defense down.
Oh my goodness, it's easy.
16 feet and in, he's so tough. He can stop like in an instant. He can get past you. He can create different angles. He may not be the best three-point shooter in the world.
Oh, what a shot from Paco Cruz. He was literally out of bounds and just has such a golden feel for the ball.
Wow, what good basketball there by Latvia. Nice patience. Zagals attacks the defense, draws two, and finds his big man.
Way in the flush. That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Well, welcome back to Jakarta. Inside the arena here, Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire on the floor already. No sign yet of Brazil. I mean, they've scored 50 points in the half. Maybe they need to. I would be getting Iago out on the floor as soon as possible. I don't want him to cool down at all.
I also think Coach Gustavo De Conchi can't be too happy with the way that his team defended, because they've defended well, you know, in this tournament. They held Iran to 59 points. Okay, Spain, they ended up scoring 96, but the game, you know, Spain had a big, they had a 30-point third quarter, 32 points, was it? The fourth quarter, sorry. You know, so for 3 quarters, for 30 minutes, they really held Spain to a good scoring percentage, I guess you could say. And tonight, to allow a team that only scored 67 points, 46 at half, that's unusual for Brazil.
Oh, absolutely unusual. But going the other way, looking at it the other way, Coach Prokic in that halftime has got to make a decision, right? I can only assume that they said, we're worried about the inside option, we're worried about their bigs. So let's see if Iago can shoot. Well, okay, the answer is yes, he can. If you don't believe he's going to be a 100% shooter the whole game, fair enough. You can live and die by your decisions. But he's made 5. No one else has made more than 1 3.
Yeah.
And we know they've got the box and 1 in the locker.
The thing is, you know what I'm saying, okay, Iago, he's 24 years old, hasn't played a lot in Europe, but he played for 10 games for Brazil in the qualifiers, okay? He's played in FIBA Americas before. In this tournament so far, he's made at least 3 3-pointers every game. And coming into the qualifiers, he shot 40% from 3. He can shoot threes. He's not the kind of 3-point shooter who's going to, you know, come off of a double stagger and knock down a 3. No, but if left open, absolutely. Feet set, it's going in. And the biggest thing is, make someone else score right now if you're Cote d'Ivoire. Are they going to be able to do that? They have to defend Iago differently, or they're not going to win this game.
Absolutely. We said right from the out, you know, can they score enough points? Well, you're never going to take 46 as their norm. You know, it's that they've had a great qualification from the African region.
Yep.
Qualified early, had the opportunity to look at a lot of different players. They've had great preparation. So that in that preparation, they would have spent time talking about more situations perhaps than many of the other teams that are at this World Cup. There you get confirmation of Iago's numbers, 19, 2 from 4 from 2. Hey, make him make 2s. You know, it's chase him off that line, get him inside, ask him to make tougher shots over people. They went box and 1 on Huertas. They played a zone in a couple of games. Now, like some people will say, oh, why would you play a zone against Iago? Well, he's made a lot of threes from the top. Why don't you can go to a single, an odd number front zone. You go to a 1-3-1 or a 1-2-2. Yeah, okay, you might find yourself getting hurt on the inside. Well, you're being killed from the 3-point line at the moment.
Well, we saw a box and 1 from Cote d'Ivoire, so clearly they have other defenses up their sleeve, and I'll be really interested to see what they do defensively. Offensively, I think they got to continue to play like the way that they have been playing.
Hey, they were for 15 minutes in the locker room, so they have some changes. Probably they will go to the zone. Okay? Hey, El, Sigre, Ba, Misre, Dali, Misre, and Bato. Please, just same moment to see. Maybe 1 second, and you go.
Like struggling to heal, Coach Prokic.
Wait for him and attack. Okay? In the defense, we start man to man. Then we will see if there is a box on Iago. Box on Iago.
Well, you heard the last part of that timeout, the last sort of a couple of sentences where they're going to go man-to-man, but they do have the box and it will be on Iago.
Yeah.
But if they're going to play man-to-man, they've got enough quickness to guard him. And they don't actually have to ask Cote to guard him. They've got other people who can do that, because it's tough if you're going to be there doing everything and guarding their toughest player. But it'll be interesting to see, minute 1, if there's any difference in the way that Cote d'Ivoire guard Yago. Or has Yago gone cold in the locker room? Start of the third quarter here. Place in the top 16 on the line for these two teams. 4-point game, 50-46. Cote d'Ivoire trying to eat into that lead. First possession. Zouzoua moves it to the corner. Barr won't take the three. Goes inside. Second move off the glass is fouled.
You know what I think I love about Ba is he doesn't try and do anything difficult.
Yeah.
Not a big three-point shooter. He's very undersized. He plays a forward position for this team. He's undersized. Yeah, he's athletic. He can jump. But he's smart. He's a heads-up player.
Wow, that's Caboclo's third foul. And I have to say, I'm getting a little bit disappointed with the way that every single call. It was a clear foul across the arm. Nothing to complain about. Referees made the call. Chance to make this a 2-point game, which Barr does. And Cedric Barr, as you say, does Cedric Barr things. This is what I do. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I can't shoot the three very well, so I won't. Yago. Zouzoua guarding. Zouzoua is quick enough to chase him. Suarez moves it on. Wendell goes to the high post. Oh, they're going to go offensive foul. And Suarez can't understand why the foul's been called. Let's take a look.
It was Suarez holding him for a little while. I do think that's two post players just battling.
Yeah. I'm not sure if there's you can see why they called it, because he held his arm down, yep. But that's just the dark arts of post play, you know, people holding space. Here's Barr outside. Zouzoua looks inside. Dali gets his feet set really quickly, can't get the three to drop. And Yago in transition gives it up. Mendel on the floor, going baseline, has to recycle it. Yago will take the ball screen. Looks to go inside, looks to go deep. Inside, outside. Suarez for three. It's good. Man, when he's lined up, it's all in a straight line. It's just a super, super three-point threat. Cote needs a pass. Zouzoua goes high. Barr has it. Puts it on the floor again on the inside. Puts up a less than convincing shot and then fouls on the loose ball. I do think he's great for this team. I don't see him as their primary offensive threat, Cedric Barr.
No, and you know, I think what's surprising to me is Zouzoua, 17 points in the last game for them in that big win over Iran. And he has just, 0 points right now. He hasn't even looked for himself. Yeah. 2 shot attempts in this game so far.
That's a crazy comparison. Upstairs, come on, hold it. Zouzoua got it. You'd expect him to go hard now. Gets inside to the key, and it'll be a little bit of football. And the clock will stay at 20. See, those moments are where you expect him just to go.
Yeah. Attack the basket, make them stop you, possibly foul you.
Barr has it, Cote wants, but Zouzoua gets. Again, you'd think he'd want to go at it strong here. Does. Leans back for 2, doesn't get it to go. Fouls called on Sidibe, I think. Well, neither team for a first half that was 50-46. Both teams struggling a little bit to get back into that type of rhythm early in the third quarter. Zouzoua will guard Yago. Full court. Great take, great first step. That's Santos with the 2.
Santos getting the start for Di Paula.
Zouzoua catches it, puts it up, doesn't get it to go. Offensive rebound by Sidibe, who's going to go back up. Little foul line jump shot is good. Quiet first half for Amadou Sidibe. Suarez for three. Man, that's just sweet looking. Straight line shooter. He's good size, good stroke. That's back-to-back threes for him at the start of this third quarter. Zouzoua. Ball sticks him a little bit. Foul off the ball. That'll be the third team foul on Brazil. Fofana checks in. I think Fofana has to have a game here in the second half. Quiet first half, really does have to make a contribution here for Cote d'Ivoire. Veteran experience.
Veteran experience, who's been on this team for a long time, played a lot with them in the qualifiers. He's somewhat important.
Has it in the corner, needs a pass. Zouzoua gets to the middle, ball's knocked away, takes the tough turnaround, doesn't get it to drop. Suarez with a rebound, Iago looks to push, Brazil run. Great pass, great trail. Oh, foul on the play, Sidibe had to foul. Suarez saw the middle of the floor open up, took the drive lane, and no one filled it. Sidibe fouls. And Suarez really, really active, 2'11".
The unfortunate thing is that's 4 fouls. Sidibe had that rebounding foul on the other end on the offensive possession a couple times ago, and then picks up a foul there. Nothing to do. He was either going to be posterized by a dunk or foul, and he ends up fouling. So he's going to have to go to the bench, and you know, Tepe's going to have to come in, but he has big shoes to fill. You put Sidibe out, this Cote d'Ivoire team becomes really small.
Yeah. Tepe played a chunk of time in that first half, did well, but he is not, by any step of the imagination, Amadou Sidibe. Full court pressure this time. They beat it on the pass. Bar's the man who releases the pressure. Looks to go, but will back it out. Diabate's in the game. Needs the ball, gets the ball. Second move in traffic. Tries to take a tough one. Take the first good one you can get. He shot the ball incredibly well the other day. Iago. Suarez reverse it. Mendel thinks about the three, puts it on the floor, goes to the middle. Ball is knocked away with 6 on the possession. Brazil will have it on the end line. It's a 10-4 start to this third quarter. It's not a hole.
No.
That they want, not yet, but they want to stop digging. Suarez puts it on the floor. Santos, who's obviously confident, doesn't get the three to drop. Defensive rebound by Tape, who gets the positive stat. Cote, he also has to become a factor offensively. Gets in the lane, drops it off to Tape, and he can't handle the pass. It was all of it congested.
You know, we said Cote d'Ivoire had a really nice first half scoring, 46 points. They've been held to only 4 points in over 4 minutes. They're lucky. Brazil's missed a bunch of shots as well, as a moving screen is going to happen. Suarez is getting mad.
He's getting mad at
his teammate.
Santos, yeah. This lineup that the Cote d'Ivoire have on the floor, Fofana has to get going. Diabate has to get back to that confident place he was on game day 2. And Cote, if he's going to play that big part in this second half, has got to become an offensive threat. Backs it out, 10 on the possession. Cote on the crossover in the lane, goes upstairs. Tape goes with a hook. Never got in any type of shape to shoot the ball. Iago pushes. Just blows past everyone. Kick, extra pass to Paula off the bench. In the book with a 3. Timeout for Cote d'Ivoire, and Brazil are just rolling on. They lead by 13. And it's all Brazil at the start of the third.
Well, I mean, it's just everything about that play and that three-point shot. Yeah, De Paula, the recipient for the extra pass from Dos Santos, but Iago penetrating, finding the open player. Let's see what they're going to do on defense.
Hey, guys, listen. We go with the corner side, okay? Go with the corner side. You're a four now. Play shake, okay? Hey, Wap stay here for the shot. Everybody stay here for the shot. Let's go.
Well, it's been a super start to this third quarter by Brazil. A little hesitant in the first minute or so. It was a little scrappy, but they've got a lot of stops. They've moved the ball really effectively. Suarez has been great from the three-point line. Iago has become the provider, not the scorer. And now Cote d'Ivoire have got to stop the bleeding. Down 13, halfway through the third. Got a whistle away from the ball.
It might be shot clock. Oh no, Iago Santos. He was grimacing before.
Was that a knee on knee? Was it a contact?
Down, yeah, it was down here.
Yeah.
When he was picking up the ball.
Well, hopefully it's one of those contact injuries that will just they can work on getting rid of the pain. The short term, Huertas will come in. That should be okay for Brazil, but let's just hope it is one of that long term because.
Oh no, he started. I thought he went and hit him, but no. So he actually didn't do anything. That's even more worrying, in my opinion.
Unless it happened down the other end and he got to the halfway line, but they're not exactly, they're taking their time with it, which again makes you think it's more than just a contact injury.
Yeah.
When Brazil have already been, well, unlucky is not the right word. It just doesn't actually.
No, it doesn't justify
what's happened.
They lost. Yeah,
to Nito. It's just a horrible injury, long-term injury, and.
He's not here. I mean, we haven't seen him at games. Wouldn't be surprised if he had to fly home. They were able to get him on a flight home.
Well, you'd hope they would, really. Well, unless he was, with that type of injury, get the medical people and the best medical people around him as soon as possible. You can probably guarantee he'd have wanted to stay if there was any way he could, but it's a bad injury. Well, Huertas is in, so got to make Huertas play here. Cote thinks about going inside, now goes to the other way. Abu turns it down. Cote, feet set for the three is no good. Had to rush it, whistle on the play. Abu's going to be charged with the personal.
I'd love to see Cote receive the pass, a little later in the offensive possession and be able to attack the basket after a closeout instead of attacking early, then him passing, sprinting out to the three, shooting a shot like that. I just, they need to get him going, plain and simple. And I don't think asking him to go ahead, attack right away is the best thing to get some points for this Cote d'Ivoire team.
Well, Iago's not in the game, obviously. They're looking and assessing that knee. So the Ivory Coast show that zone, sort of box anyway. De Paula puts it on the floor to the baseline, nowhere to go. And they're back man to man. De Paula with a lean back three is no good. Diabate. Cote wide open for three. Can't get it to go. Great work on the glass by Barr again. Abu for three. He doesn't get it. Well, they've had open looks. Huertas pushes. Now they're going to do it down this end. Felicio is blocked from behind. Wow.
It was definitely a foul.
Yeah. It was just... it took a little time to call it. And Felicio, you know, may not be the most mobile of the bigs that Brazil have, but every single time he's come into the game, he really has had impact. You know, finds himself on the free throw line. Experienced player. 31 years old now, the 2'6" center.
That's a little concerning for me when you see that many physios, probably an osteo, a doctor, all around Iago Santos there behind the bench.
Well, the one positive in the scenario at the moment is they're up 15, but a long time to go in the game. And Cote d'Ivoire just stands still. Right, puts it on the floor, takes a kicks it, extra pass. Well, they move the ball well. The three is no good. And this is the Cote d'Ivoire team that is struggling to score. Santos just can't get it to drop. Great effort. Who's coming up with that? Barr deflects it. 4-on-2 break. Abu goes to the corner for the three. It's good.
How about the youngin who has played 0 minutes so far in this tournament? Comes in with a big three-point basket for Cote d'Ivoire is Moulare.
Paolo moves it on. Huertas. Suarez just hasn't taken off him.
Again, by who though?
By Barr. Another stat that will just say, oh, it was a steal.
Yeah.
Diabate, a little bit more urgency. Moulay, can he go back-to-back threes? Yes, he is. Hey, coach, he's been on the bench for 3 games. He's out there right now.
Taking advantage of your playing time that is given is that man right there, 20 years old.
Huertas, Suarez wide open, straight line three is short. Great rebound. De Paula misses the bunny though. Ball will go back to the Cote d'Ivoire. And it gets a little bit feisty. And so Coach De Conchi goes, hey, I need my guys back in the game. Gias checks in. Mendel checks in. Big trip. They've got momentum now. 6-0 run for the Cote d'Ivoire. Cut it to a single-digit game. You know, Iago's status is unclear. Diabate. It's a little bit deja vu moment for Diabate for 2.
Well, great 8-0 run there for Cote d'Ivoire when it almost looked like, I don't want to say they had given up because by no means do I think they had given up, but it just seemed that Brazil were going to second half roll away with it and come up with the win. And honestly, everything happened when Iago Santos went down.
Well, he's behind this timeout, trying to get his legs going, so that's a good sign.
Nós não podemos lá, sabe, demos uma corrida mal feita e desestabilizou completamente a defesa. Estamos todo mundo aberto de novo na defesa. Calma, cara, bota a cabeça no lugar, tá bom? Bota a cabeça no lugar. Outra coisa, foram 2 bolas divididas, a bola do time dividida, a bola do Gui dividida, 2 bolas divididas que nós não ganhamos. A gente para de ganhar a bola dividida, fudeu, eles ganham todas, fudeu. Tá bom? Olha só, nós vamos 2 lá, nós vamos 2. Lá, tá bom? O Lucas Dias vai no poste baixo nesse lado aqui. Depois, se você não for jogar...
I know you and I are going to sound like the Cedric Ball fan club now, but he's the guy that came up with a steal. He's the guy that came up with a deflection on the pass, the floated pass. He was the one who came up and got that. He's the one making the extra pass. You just can't put a value on what he does for this team. He's going to rotate out of the lineup. No, he's still in. Good news for the Cote d'Ivoire fans in the gym, and there are a few. Big possession coming out of the timeout. Brazil will want to steady the ship, re-establish their style, their dominance, if you want, on the game. Felicio on the inside tries to create a space. He's fouled by Fofana. And now they're showing the box and one, and they're guarding Suarez, or is it Suarez?
Yeah,
Wendell.
It almost looked like they wanted to show zone, and then after a couple passes, they were going to try and go man to man. But that's going to be, actually no. Who's the foul going to go against? Is it Abu? I thought it was on Fofana. Yeah, so it was on Abu, so that's his 14th foul.
Well, both teams now in the penalty, so Felicio will go to the free throw line. Finish this last 2 minutes strongly, Cote d'Ivoire, and we've got a fourth quarter. Yet another fourth quarter in this championship where we've got a game on the line.
Well, good job there by Felicio knocking down his free throws. They desperately needed those 2 points, Brazil.
Diabate again, looking to be aggressive on the dribble. Guarded by Santos. Diabate, second move, nice pass. Bar with the mid-range. Jump shot is good. Membership for the Bar Fan Club is available. Super little decision though by Diabate. Santos, who really has grown into this role. Inside out, Huertas puts it on the floor, in the lane. And one! Well, we've questioned him a little bit in the last 2 games. I'm still not sure he really wanted to shoot the ball in that play, but he stays with it, gets into that little gap, leans, gets the soft roll, and Abu will foul out of the game. Dale checks back in. A little bit more size, a little bit more perimeter threat, but Abu had a really good impact on this game for the Cote d'Ivoire. There's this Brazil front heavy trap. Diabate. Fofana wants to give him a pass. It's a little static. When they're static, they're not great. Stops and fires up the three and makes it.
Well, Diabate, he likes to come alive near the end of the game. We saw it the last game. He had 9 points, most of those coming in the second half, 5 of 5 from the free throw range. This Cote d'Ivoire team have been very impressive from the free throw line.
Little back cut, Benicio with a turnaround, 2, doesn't get it to go. Felicio can't get it to go, gets another rebound, foul is up. They're gonna call it offensive, I think. Yeah, they've called it offensive. Felicio just saying, well, what did I do? Well, we might get to see. Here's the first rebound. That's a tough one. Can't get it to go.
Oh, I think that's an offensive foul.
Yeah.
I think that's an easy, no matter what angle, you can't use your elbow to push the defender away, who was straight up.
Yeah. Mulare, the youngster, first minutes in the World Cup, hesitates in the lane with a floater for 2.
8 points for that man. He played more minutes in the qualifiers.
Last possession of the third quarter. Cote d'Ivoire almost back to where we were at the half. Huertas for 3 is no good. And that's a super last 2 minutes for the Cote d'Ivoire. It looked like Brazil with the 15-point lead had established control. Iago went down, and it leaves us at 70-65 after 3.
Well, they've cooled off a little bit, 48% from three-point range. Cote d'Ivoire, though, shooting 50%, and then this for me is the biggest thing, 17 for 18 from the free throw line. They need to stay aggressive. They need to continue to try and attack this Brazilian defense. Everything changed, in my opinion, when Iago Santos went down, their point guard, their floor leader, their floor general, and that's worrisome. I mean, we see him up right now as we watch the highlights from this third quarter, because that quarter was all Brazil. They led by 15 points at one time in the third quarter, and it was the last 3 minutes that we saw Cote d'Ivoire do a really good job, cut into that lead, and now they only trail by 5. And I think, you know, every time you're heading into the last quarter of a game, as long as you're in the single digits, especially, you have a chance to win. And for them to cut that lead to 5 points, they need to ride this feeling. They need to ride this momentum. They need to come out, Cote d'Ivoire, and start very aggressively in this fourth quarter.
Well, there's always the debate, isn't there? Like Asimayan Moulare comes into the game, has hardly played in the tournament, goes for a quick 8. How much do you ride at, or do you go back to Cote, or do you ride him? Do you bring Cote back with him? It's a tough one. But here's Cedric Barr, a double-double in probably the biggest game that Cote d'Ivoire has had in a very long time, produces a double-double. Just a tremendous performance by that captain.
Well, we do know the winner of this game will be moving on and finishing second in the group behind Spain.
Iago, great news for Brazil. He's back in the game, go back down the high post. He's in, he's on 3 fouls. Good to see him back in the game. He'll ball screen and hold. Adele can't get the 3 to go. Who's coming out with that? What a rebound. The Paula cleans up the mess. New full team. Iago puts it on the floor to the corner. The open 3 is no good. All over the glass. Fofana clears it up. Dale. Barr will get it back to Diabate. Real feel about it now for the Cote d'Ivoire. Diabate likes the matchup, wants to be aggressive. Steps back, takes a tough one. Great rebound by Barr. Moulare in the lane, drops it inside for 2, it doesn't go. Iago, recovery by Barr, and now it's fouled. Opportunity for the Cote d'Ivoire. Brazil stayed with it. And we all can catch our breath as Mendel will go to the free throw line. Just about stayed with the play. I just don't like them when they stand around the Cote d'Ivoire and I'm going to shoot the ball. It's got a great transition. Keep the ball moving, keep it simple. And when does Cote come back? If he's healthy, and the answer to that is he's coming back.
Well,
no, he's not.
He's still jumping behind the bench, staying warm.
Sidibe's going to check back in.
And he has the 4 fouls and sat most of that third quarter.
Sidibe's going to have to work on the inside for the Cote d'Ivoire because the man for Brazil, Bruno Carbuco, is in the game and already active. Brazil with a lineup that started the game against Spain on the floor right now. Diabate, Moulare. Tries to turn the corner, gets his feet set, puts up the 3. That's back-to-back poor decisions by the Cote d'Ivoire.
I don't think that's good offense. And Moulare, you know, I think he's done a great job. Came in off the bench, 8 points for them. In my opinion, you have to get Cote back in the game soon.
Yeah, now. Cote loses it. Went into too much traffic. Fofana leaves the ball behind, gets it back to Diabate. Have to move the ball.
Right now, run an offense. Stop playing one-on-one.
Iago has got numbers coming. Better defensive transition, though, by the Cote d'Ivoire. Backs it out. De Paula puts it on the floor. It's on the inside. That's where he lives. That's where he works. Can't get it to go. And the Cote d'Ivoire dodge a bullet. And we're begging them to run something that isn't a one-on-one clear out for a poor jumper. Here's Fofana. Moulare.
What is this? What is this offense? You have 4 people standing about 2 meters apart.
Diabate gets to the ring, no, it's blocked. Huge block, Iago to the ring, kicks it. Mendel to the ring, gives it up.
And one pass too many, in my opinion.
At least one. Mendel, his feet set for the three-point line, doesn't get it to go. The Paula's on the glass. And somehow, the Cote d'Ivoire dodged multiple bullets.
Multiple bullets on that one possession. And they haven't scored yet in this quarter, but Brazil only up 7 and not taking advantage of maybe some poor decision-making offensively by Cote d'Ivoire.
Well, Kone's gonna come back into the game. Mulare to the wing, Fofana open for 3, doesn't get it to go. They're gonna call the foul on the glass. It's gonna go to Mendel. Fofana checks in, it's Diabate that sits. So they still ride the 20-year-old Simiani Mulare. Just a little bit of something offensively for Cote d'Ivoire. Kone has the basketball, takes the ball screen, looks a little bit of an advantage, gets inside with a little runner, doesn't get it to drop. And every shot they've taken in this quarter so far has been really contested.
Yeah.
But Brazil, you know, they've missed opportunities. Are they going to rue those? Here's Iago, takes the ball screen. Hasn't looked, oh, nice pass, super pass. Provider in the second half, scorer in the first. And he's out there now with the knee problem, but he's playing through that. Kone gets it back, opens up a drive lane, and then turns it over. The one time they had the ring, they pass it up. Santos almost loses possession. Cabluco puts it on the floor, turns it over. Mulare is fouled. Suarez, contact in the backcourt. Shona, we've seen this Cote d'Ivoire team and talked about they've had 45 days together, that they can really run some nice things. They've shown in this first half that if they share it and move, they have a chance.
Yep.
And this is, at times, this is like the team that struggles to score more than 60 points because they're not running anything in this fourth quarter. The quick 3 by Dale hits nothing but the backboard. They just have to believe that they have a way to play and do it. Here's Iago, who's been the man who's steadied the ship, sharing the basketball. Santos is off for the 3. Whistle on the play, which I believe is going to be offensive on the glass.
Suarez is trying to plead his case to the referees. That's the one thing, you know, we have seen a lot of players talking to referees as well as coaches in this tournament. And I've never seen a referee say, yeah, you're right, let me change that call.
Exactly. Well, pointless for 5 minutes, nearly 5 minutes at the start of this fourth quarter. Whistle on the play. And that'll be the 4th team foul. The only way they might get to score at the moment is on the free throw line. Iago holding his head. It's a sideline possession. Suarez sits for Brazil. Diabate comes back. Well, Mulare in that third quarter came in and looked all well. He struggled a little bit in the fourth quarter, the youngster. But the biggest chance you've had to possibly make the second round of the World Cup, and you go pointless for 5 minutes. They've got to find a way to tick it over.
And what's disappointing is that they go pointless for 5 minutes, and the way that they finished that third quarter was excellent. So, you know, that's for me the most disappointing thing is how you know, how could you not continue to ride that momentum between the little timeout or the, you know, the between the third and fourth quarter, and not figure out how did we have success at the end of the third quarter? We need to continue to do that.
Well, Conte gets the technical foul, and that's the way that the Cote d'Ivoire just break that scoring drought. Sadibi gets it off to Diabate. Cote still only an 8-point game. Cote gets it off. Fofana for three, off the glass.
And another rebounding foul, though. Well,
there's the foul. You can see the hold with the arm, not the box out. And that means they'll get 2 shots because we're in a team foul situation. So they couldn't score for 5 minutes. They've now hit 4 with the free throw and the 3, and they've got a chance to make that a 6-point trip down the floor. And all of a sudden, we could be in a 3-point game, and every single piece of momentum will be with the men in white. Dale has to compose himself on the free throw line to make this a single possession game.
But now that Suarez and Mandel going to the bench with 5 fouls.
Yep.
Those are 2 really, really big losses.
Huge.
We see Abu for Cote d'Ivoire. He has 5 fouls. So a lot of fouls have been called in this game, as 3 people have already fouled out of the game between these 2 teams.
And Conte doesn't go to his experience, doesn't go to Huertas, doesn't go to Victor Beniche either. Vale makes both. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we have a ball game. A single possession has pretty much wiped out the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. Iago, Brazil hanging on now. Back low for 3, knocks it down. Well, law of averages says he's going to make 1. Gets his feet set. Caboclo with the 3. Cote. Lane opens up, kicks it, the extra pass. They turn down the 3. Diabate doesn't need to dance with it, needs to be aggressive for 2. Doesn't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Cote gives it up, wants it back, lines it up, but puts it on the floor. 7 on the possession. Cote turns down the ball screen, needs a pass, puts up a prayer, which is not answered. Have to back themselves with what they want to get right now. De Paula. Regardless of whatever composure Brazil had, now they're in a game where they just have to get the win, however they manage to do it. Iago backs out, goes again in the drive lane, he's fouled, puts it up, doesn't get the roll. Cote d'Ivoire, that's only their 2nd team foul. Iago will go to the free throw line. Cote d'Ivoire's debate should be with themselves here about how they're going to get a shot, who they want to go to, not about, was I fouled last time? Iago steadies the nerves a little bit, tries to make this an 8-point game. Barr checks back in. But a great thing for the Cote d'Ivoire on the floor at the moment. They've got as much offense as they probably can get. If they share the ball, they should get something that they want. Diabate turns the corner, down the lane, off the glass, doesn't get it to go. Great challenge, loose ball foul.
And Coach De Conte has to be careful on the bench, as you saw. He was not happy and then decided to go behind.
Santos is charged with a personal.
I mean, Cote d'Ivoire, we know that they're a very, very good offensive rebounding team, and it's hard to box out athletic players slashing to the basket. Says they only have 11 offensive rebounds, but if you consider how many times they were fouled heading to the offensive rebound,
yeah,
like I don't believe that goes in the stat sheet. So
no, it just goes
yeah,
there because there's a
I
foul.
would say there's at least 5 or 6
Bar
throughout
makes
this game.
Makes the second 7-point game. There's an eternity in the game. 3:20, chance to make the top 16 in the World Cup on the line. Huge step. It would be for the Cote d'Ivoire. Wide open, back-to-back threes, no. Still don't think it's the right option for him. Diabate looks to push, goes again. Bounced off the defense, got his feet set and finished the play. Closes it to a 5-point game. Let's take a look. Ooh. Great defense by Santos, took away the drive lane. But it's the fourth quarter, it's the end of the game. It's Diabate time. Timeout for Brazil. 3 remaining, 5-point game. Their progression to the last 16 is on the line. Let's listen to Coach get that out in a minute, Da Conchi.
Agora olha só, se eles continuam zona, a hora que nós fazer, não fica virando bloqueio. Não fica. A hora que a gente fizer giro, nós vamos fazer o primeiro bloqueio, quem fizer o primeiro pop. E o segundo, vamos fazer giro duplo contra a zona. Tem que seguir a bola, precisa mover, a bola está muito parada. Faz a jogada no Bruno, o movimento no sentido que ele tem que ser mesmo.
Well, this whole game changed once Iago got hurt with that knee problem, but since he's come back, it gives such confidence to this Brazilian lineup, his ability to distribute the basketball. What he hasn't done pretty much in this whole second half is actually made a 3-point shot attempt. And I think he's had the same type of space.
Yep. Look at that, a double-double. He's actually the first Brazilian player with 20-plus points and 10-plus assists in a FIBA Basketball World Cup over the last 30 years. Wow. So a big, big game for Iago Santos.
79-74, 3 minutes remain. Last game for these two in the group. The winner progresses to the top 16. De Paula has it. Will take the ball screen. They'll just pick and pop though. They won't dive to the ring. De Paula's going to have to put it up from the logo and knocks it down.
I'm not sure that was what Coach drew up, but it doesn't matter anyway. It's just trying to see him say, whoo, that was not pretty. But it doesn't matter at this point of the game if it's pretty or not.
Not at all. Here's Diabate, who has a matchup he should just go at. But people have got to spot up for him. Diabate breaks it down, gives it up. Fofana for 2, blows it. Cote recovers. Fofana moves it on. They hit the second side. Ballet kicks it. Cote just about holds on. 5 on the possession. Kone's got to go. Gets to the far side of the ring with a tough one. Doesn't get the roll. Huge rebound by Bruno Caboclo. And Iago will slow it down. Moves it on, gets it back, lines up the 3, drains it. Iago, is that the dagger to the heart of Cote d'Ivoire? Back-to-back threes for Brazil, opening out to an 11-point lead, and they had opportunities on the glass for Cote d'Ivoire. But how good is Iago Santos? Shona said had 20 and then nails the first 3 he's made. He's 100% from 3 on the game.
And he's been slowed down in this second half. Let's try and listen into the timeout.
Listen, guys, no time for zone anymore. Minute 50, man-to-man full court. Simple offenses. Go inside or just hit. You understand? You can also go with fist. Full court. We have still 2 fouls to give. So press the ball. In the defense, we switch everything. Okay? When I say fall, we put them on the line. Come on, guys. Come on.
Wow, 10-0 run in the last minute. A 1-point game. Iago with the last 3 before the timeout. But the 3 after from the logo.
Yeah.
De Paula. How ironic, how pertinent, whatever words you want to use, the guy that's come in finito pretty much gives them, you would have thought, possibly enough breathing space, but there's still 1:40 to go. They've got to go good, but they've got to go quick. Skip, Diabate puts it on the floor, gets to the ring for 2, blows it. Fofana Bar can't get it in, and they missed another one at the ring. They've had 4 opportunities since the Brazilian timeout from 2 feet and have not finished the play. Iago, ball, time and possession for Brazil right now. Drops it inside, foul on the play. Caboclo will go to the free throw line. He's even taken the knee strap off.
He has,
He's taking it off. I don't need that,
didn't
coach.
last long. That knee strap on Iago Santos did not last very long, and for good reason. 24 points for him already.
Well, he has literally, if they hold on to win this game, which is, it's not definite yet, he has carried his team. He's picked himself up off the floor. And Cote takes the walk to the bench, and you can't underestimate what he's done for the Cote d'Ivoire. Also, with the injury issue, laced them up and went out there and tried to do whatever he could do. Fofana gets it back. Mulleret, gotta go quick. Can't put on ball handling demo here. Gotta go quick to the lane, off the glass, gets the roll. And Huertas is going to come into the game to try and just make sure they get over the line. Replaces Diaz.
Yeah, I think he just wants to go more guard heavy here. No turnovers, finish the game, doesn't matter about the ball pressure.
11-point game, De Paula has it. They don't need to panic, get it over the half, share the ball. If they were going to foul, surely they should have gone quicker. Well, time is not on their side at all. Huertas has it. Is fouled, and there's only 8 seconds left on the shot clock. If you're going to foul, because you've still got 1 to give anyway. It's almost a free attempt to the foul. Dedier doesn't realize he's right in front of us that they had a foul to give. 24-second shot clock and a foul up with 8 seconds remaining. The maths, you can do them. Here is Iago. He wants it back, gets it back. Steps back. Great rebound, huge rebound by De Paula.
De Paula, the way that he has stepped up and had to replace one of Brazil's best players.
Bar is fouled, he'll go to the free throw line. A little bit academic perhaps, although points difference when it comes to final classifications could still be a factor.
Yeah. I mean, it's still not over for the Cote d'Ivoire.
No, absolutely not.
It's going to depend on a lot of what the other teams from the African region, how they play out. People are playing now. There's probably going to have to be some calculations happen.
Well, Bar, Cedric Bar, the captain of this team, has performed so well in this game. Double performance. Brazil come down with a defensive rebound. Iago's down the other end of the floor. De Paula's going to walk this off. And they were, to say the least, challenged in that 4th quarter. The Cote d'Ivoire closed it to a 1-point game. Iago and De Paula made back-to-back threes, and Brazil will advance to the top 16 in this World Cup. They're still in with the hunt for the title. They're still in with the hunt for the Olympic qualification places. The Cote d'Ivoire will look back and say, well, what could have been? but they've still got qualification aspirations for the Olympic Games in Paris. Absolutely phenomenal performance by Iago Santos. Absolutely phenomenal.
Hats off. Easily player of the game. I think, you know, you and I have watched a lot of games played here, and there's a lot of amazing players playing in these groups that we have here in Jakarta, and that has to be one of the best performances of the World Cup so far in such a meaningful game as well. This was a must-win game. Either team who won, we're going to be moving on and playing in that top 16, like you said. So Iago Santos, he was ready from the tip-off, and he had an absolutely amazing game. First Brazilian player to ever have 20-plus points plus 10-plus assists in a game. And let's not forget, you know, I know we've been kind of saying he hasn't looked like himself, but Huertas, he now has 107 assists. That is the second best most assists in a FIBA Basketball World Cup out of every player that has ever, well, since 94 when they started keeping track of the statistics. That is just absolutely incredible as well. He moved up to second. Not sure he's going to catch Ricky Rubio as you see the statistics from today's game. Surprised that Brazil actually out-rebounded Cote d'Ivoire, because Cote d'Ivoire, well, we talked about it. They crashed the offensive boards and Brazil had to foul. You see Iago Santos, 24 points. Ba, 13 points. Ba does so much more than just score points, though, for this Cote d'Ivoire team. And I know they're disappointed. I think they had opportunities. I thought that they should have somehow figured out to come out a little bit stronger to start that fourth quarter, especially with the way that they finished the way that they finished the end of the third. Momentum was on their side, and they came out flat. They didn't score for way too long, and then they got lucky with a technical, a foul. They had a 6-point possession, basically.
Well, 9 points became 3 points.
Yeah,
One trip. And you said in commentary that, you know, would Brazil rue the fact that they hadn't taken advantage of that pointless first 5 minutes? And they almost did. 1-point game that turned into a 12-point win on the back of the logo three.
Yeah, probably the biggest three of his career. De Paula, who you have to be very, very impressed with him and how he has played in the last 2 games for them. He's taking that starting role. He's taking more responsibility offensively, defensively. And you know, Coach De Conte, he's had to go to his bench, and I think his bench players have really, really stepped up. And that's why we're seeing them in at the end of the game and getting more playing time as this tournament moves on.
Well, Brazil with the huge, huge win. Tested, taken to the brink of a heartbreaking loss, but it's the Cote d'Ivoire who have their hearts broken and will not go to the top 16, but still have qualification aspirations, depending on how other results have gone while this game has been played. Iago Santos, as you said, probably, arguably, the best performance in the World Cup so far for all sorts of reasons.
Yeah.
So that's a tremendous performance by Brazil. There's the confirmation, 89-77. They currently top the group, but Spain with a win later will get the top spot. And we'll see you for that game later on. But for now, from Jakarta, it's goodbye.
player of the game is from Team